Yo, what's up guys, welcome back to another MyTeam video here today. Today it's time for the Imola Grand Prix, and that means that we have our first sprint weekend of the season. Of course, in a season with 22 races we have 3 sprint races. So yeah, this is the first one, and as you can see, no upgrades in time for the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix, but that's of course because we only have 1 week and there are no upgrades to be done to the car. The car is maxed out as far as we can do. Red Bull still has 2 upgrades that they need to do on our car, but we can't do anything about it. We just need to race and hope that we are the fastest man on track. Of course, because it's sprint race weekend, we already have qualifying on Tuesday. Wow, no, on Friday. And as you can see, it's raining. So this just gives an extra element of surprise to this episode. In the race, I think it's going to rain at the end of it as well. In the sprint, it should be dry. But let's hope that we can get a good qualifying here. Of course, in this qualifying, it doesn't matter that much. Oh my god, that's a good exit. But it doesn't matter too much if I start on P2 or P5, because I always have the sprint to help myself getting into pole position for the race where we can score the maximum amount of points. Still, we want to be ahead of our teammate Carlos Sainz, who is currently leading the championship with around 60 seconds. No, 60 points. I am confused today. I don't know what it is. But don't worry, this video is going to be great. Don't click away. Stay here as we are exiting the final few corners and getting onto the main straight to put in our first lap of Q1. Of course, in the rain you always want to have a few laps after each other, because you don't know when the rain is going to hit more. And as you can see, 1.2 seconds behind Tsunoda at the moment. It wasn't a good lap, it was still a banker lap. And through this lap you will see that we are going to improve massively. Through turn 1 and 2 we go not that much advantage compared to last time, around a 10th. But still gaining a bit more here. Never mind. Oh boy, never mind. That wasn't a good... Yes, okay. This lap, I'm going to give up this lap because as you can see that was a horrible line. The wet surface caught me out and I didn't react fast enough to keep this car on track, but luckily we still have a third lap that we can do, and this time into turn 1 and 2 we go with a green delta, 2.5, 3 tenths even, as Carlos Sainz put in a 122.4, and we are only at the halfway point and we are already a second faster, so that's quite a bit. As you can see, gaining even more, currently on 1.1 seconds. If we can keep it like that, we could improve massively, and that could be our job done for this quali session. But of course, as you can see, it's going well. It's going well. Through third gear we go into the final corner. It's all still going well, gaining even a bit more on the straight, and we put ourselves in P7. You would have thought that it would be pole, or maybe P3 or so, something like that. But no, it's only 6 tenths of pole. As you can see, Carlos Sainz a 122.455, myself in a 123 flat. So yeah, currently in P10. Doesn't matter too much, of course. It's only Q1 and it should be dry in the next part of qualifying. Yes, it is. As we are now in Q2 and you can see only 1 minute on the board remaining. Because at the start of the session it was raining. But yeah, it doesn't really matter if it's raining at the start of the session. If it's going to be dry, you don't have to go out. So that's what I did. I waited until it got dry. I waited until the last minute so that I had the best surface that I could get. And as you can see, actually we are in P16, setting our first and only time in Q2. So hopefully it's good enough, because last time around we were out of Q2 in P... Or was I out of Q1? Oh boy, I wasn't even out of Q1, that's the worst thing. But as you can see, currently P1, still only 2 drivers who have crossed the line. Never mind, that is Sainz and Stroll as well. So Sainz not fast to me, he got held up. We wanted to do a second lap, that didn't go too well as we went onto the grass and the car didn't want to steer. So let's take a look at if we are through to the next part of qualifying. Yes, we are in P2, even only 1.5 tenths of pole. Maybe because Carlos Sainz didn't have a good lap. maybe because we are just fast. But this is really promising for the next part of qualifying Q3. But something strange happened. You can see Ricciardo, Verstappen, Lawson, Ticktum and Albon didn't go on to the softs even though they were outside on track. Maybe their time got deleted, I don't know. But it looks like Red Bull has only one car in Q3 and that only helps us. Of course, we are leading the Constructors title at the moment. But if we can help ourselves by getting the rivals in problems, then we can always do that, as we want to win the championship as early as possible so that we can relax on the final few races. Only 2 thousandths slower than Tsunoda at the moment, but the third sector is usually our fastest. As you can see, this time around it wasn't the best, but let's hope that we can have a good 2 final corners. Carlos Sainz a 1:13.892. Can we do something like that? To be honest, I don't know. Tsunoda putting in a 1:15.0 gives me an idea that we are, yes, indeed, a second of Carlos Sainz. And the weirdest thing is, he is the only one who is not going out for a final lap. Of course, he is a second faster than P2, so I don't think that somebody can improve that. But as you can see, we are starting our final lap in qualifying here today. P5 it is at the moment. Can we improve that? Let's hope we can do, going nearly into the wall, not even into turn 1. But as you can see, we aren't gaining that much. Never mind. Never mind. You can see in this part of the track I didn't have a good run, and we are gaining 8 tenths of a second. That's massive. 1.5 tenths faster than George Russell. Can we go on to maybe the front row? Is that going to be good enough? It's 7 tenths, 8 tenths gaining. Qualifying is complete, and it looks like we are qualifying in P5. Is that only P5? What the hell? I felt like that should be at least the front row or row number 2. But P5, wow. But hey, don't worry, it's only in the qualifying. We still have a sprint race and a race to go. But if you have seen the previous seasons of my team career with the Imola Grand Prix, then you know that we aren't the best here with our durability, as we've never scored a point in the main race. We had a DNF and problem with my audio, which was in the rain as well, so that wasn't a good one as well. But you can see Carlos Sainz not even on pole position, 18 thousandths is Perez faster. Don't worry, we still have a sprint race to go. Don't click away yet, because we aren't done yet with this episode. Let's get into the first sprint race of the year.
Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting sprint. It's Sergio Perez on pole today, and a very happy Carlos Sainz will start second. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Russell, Fernando Alonso, Lightning and Leclerc, Ocon, Tsunoda, Norris and Kevin Magnussen, Stroll, Ricciardo, Max Verstappen and Liam Lawson, Ticktum, Albon, Oscar Piastri and Robert Schwartzman, Mick Schumacher, Gasly, Joe and Nicholas Latifi. Which of these drivers will get pole position today? We'll soon find out.
Starting with the first of 2 races here in P5. As you can see, 11 laps is what we are going to do. And it's lights out and away we go. Sainz, not the best start. As you can see, Alonso, a great start, almost going up to P1 already. We get overtaken by Leclerc and we fall down to P6. But luckily we can stay down the inside of Leclerc, pushing him a bit off track. But luckily no damage to either car. A track limits exceeding warning already, but hey, don't worry, it's only 11 laps. We should be able to do this as there. Oh my god, that was something that I didn't expect. Luckily I didn't crash into Russell, otherwise it would be catastrophical with what would happen. But as you can see, Sainz and Alonso fighting gives me an opportunity to try and go for Russell's position. Coming a bit different out of the final corner, and as you can see, we are so close to Russell. And going for the outside, turning into the inside. As you can see, side by side, even overtaking Sainz and Alonso is a 3-person overtake. What the hell? Let's take a replay from that, as it was one of the best overtakes I've ever done. As you can see, coming up to the first corner. Never mind, we have to wait. Yes, there we are once again. Going down the inside of Alonso and Sainz as well. Pushing Alonso a bit to the outside, which gives him a bad exit to the corner. But hey, that's racing. And as you can see, we are now up to P2. I thought I was going for P4 that lap, but eventually it got into P2. So hey, that's only good for us. This means that we can gain points on Sainz and Leclerc. Of course, Leclerc not even being in the top 5. But this is good. As we are now in lap 4, you can see a purple and a green sector.
Okay, stand by. We see a problem our end and we're looking into it.
Oh no. The curse of Imola is back. Let's see, is it a fatal problem? Can we continue or not? We have to wait, we have to wait, we have to wait.
It looks like we're experiencing an ERS software glitch.
With the fastest lap of the race, we have an ERS problem. And as you can see, we can't disable the ERS, but hey, don't worry, we know how to drive with a bit of ERS on. So this isn't the biggest problem. Of course, this could mean that it could lead to heavier effects in the main race, but we'll have to wait and see what happens there. But yeah, as you can see, lap 6 it is, only 1.5 seconds in front. Never mind, that's going to grow a bit, 1.5, 1.6 almost. So yeah, that wasn't the best exit out of there. 5 seconds is the gap behind. As you can see, Alonso is still really close. Never mind, there's a second warning. If we do this once again, we get a time penalty. That's not what we want, as we are finally in the DRS zone of Perez in front. But yeah, you can see the gap behind is 5.5 to 6 seconds to Alonso and Sainz. But we are focusing in front as the danger behind is just almost 0. We could still make a mistake, but hey, don't worry. Lap 8 of 11, you can see almost overtaken Perez into turn 1, but I don't want to lose my front wing and end up in P22. So I just wait a lap to see if I can go for it once again. Going through this section, you can see it's quite a difficult section. But if you nail it, you will absolutely love that lap, or at least I do. Really close behind Perez at the moment, not the best exit out of that chicane, but still good enough to stay close with only 3.5 tenths in lap 9 it is now. 3 laps remaining, going around the outside of Perez. Can we make the overtake stick? Never mind, maybe, no. We got pushed off track onto the yellow sausage curbs, which doesn't help our floor. I think we even got a bit of damage, but it's only 3 laps, it's going to end well. But you know, the elbows are out and that means that we are going to fight hard. But still fair for this win. Of course, it's only sprint race. It does mean that we get an extra point. So we want every point that we can get, as Sainz is now in P3. He overtook Alonso, is now a second ahead of him already. But lap 10, a second try is what we are going to do around the outside. The same as last lap, but this time around we have it. Never mind. Why am I making so many mistakes? Because this doesn't help us at all. And now in lap 10 we are finally leading. But that maybe won't last long, as Perez is only 2 tenths behind. He got a good exit and I got a bad exit once again. The gap is 4 tenths, 3 tenths, 2 tenths. Oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no. As you can see, Perez not really going for it. Why did he go to the right? Never mind, doesn't mind. What the hell am I saying? I don't even know. As we are going side by side, he now goes onto those yellow sausage curves. But I have a snap of overs here, and he goes side by side into the next corner. As you can see, still side by side, we take the inside line here, and we are still not done. We want to win this race, and as you can see, Carlos Sainz is getting closer. The gap is only 3 seconds now, as we are still side by side. So you can see from my onboard, I am faster on the straight, which does help me. But eventually we win this battle, and I feel like this should be it, as we are in lap 11 of 11. Yes, it is. 2.5 tenths is the gap behind. 2 seconds is the gap to Sainz, even though it was 6.5 seconds in lap 9. So yeah, as you can see, we cross the line to take pole position. That's weird to say. We take pole position after we finish a race. But yeah, we are really happy with that. 8 points in total, which means that we gain 2 points on our teammates. You can see him in you're on your screen right now. Drive of today as well, because we went from P5 to P1. And as you can see now in the results is a P1 for us, and then Perez and Sainz, Alonso, Russell, Leclerc, Ocon, Verstappen, Ricciardo, and Dan take them. That's the top 10. All the way down you can see Yuki Tsunoda, he had to go into the pits, so unfortunately that was race over for him. But maybe he can do something in the big race to eventually gain a few points. Not the best for Mercedes, but still a long way to go. Let's get into it.
Welcome once again to the Autodromo Internazionale Enzo e Dino Ferrari. The clue's in the name. This is very much Ferrari home turf, and the locals will be out in force today to support their team in what we hope will be a magnificent spectacle of motorsport. On then to the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix. 3.1 miles of track at Imola, featuring 19 turns, 9 to the right and 10 to the left. Remember that Imola differs from most other Formula One tracks as it's taken anti-clockwise. Let's hope nobody forgets that today. The exit from turn 18 will probably be the setup for many of today's overtakes, leading as it does into the longest straight on the circuit, and it's only DRS zone. Off the back of a fantastic qualifying session, it's time to see how our starting grid looks like for today's race. Lightning lines up on pole position. Sergio Perez lines up alongside. Looking at the rest of today's grid, we have Sainz, Fernando Alonso, George Russell and Leclerc, Ocon, Verstappen, Ricciardo and Daniel Ticktum, Norris, Oscar Piastri, Robert Schwartzman and Mick Schumacher, Gasly, Liam Lawson, Lance Stroll and Yuki Tsunoda, Joe, Albon, Latifi and Kevin Magnussen fills the last spot on the grid. Now it's almost time for lights out, so let's go down to the track. And with me as usual is Anthony Davidson. Let's talk about Lightning. That was a great podium in the last race. Can they keep that momentum going this weekend?
It's always nice to come into a Grand Prix weekend on a high, but your expectations are based much more on your practice and qualifying runs. So it's the momentum from those sessions that they'll be hoping to carry into the race today.
Having done one race already, but now starting in pole position, well, this feels a lot better than starting at P5. So let's hope that we can stay in P1 and finish in P1 and take a few points away from our teammate to eventually become a two-time world champion ourselves. As you can see, the lights are going on at this moment. There are 32 laps and it's lights out and away we go. Never mind, it's lights out and away we go right now. Not the best start as we were positioned so bad. I don't know how to say it differently. A small love tap with our teammate going side by side with George Russell, but eventually we take the position and we are still in P4. So not the best start, still in P4. So hey, don't worry. Yellow flag, what happened? Oh no. Is that somebody out? Yes, it is. Liam Lawson is out of the session, and that means that we have a virtual safety car. I don't know if I'm too happy with a virtual safety car, because I feel like if we had a full safety car, I could save my tires a bit better. That would mean that we could do a one-stop to the mediums. Oh no, mediums we couldn't even do mediums, because the mediums that we had were used in the sprint race, so we can only go to hards. So our strategy at the moment is soft hard, if we can even make it to that point. Alonso, not the best exit, not the best restart, but that gives Sainz a position, so hey, that's good, that's pretty nice, as we are now fighting for the position as well. We want to get onto that podium and at least try to go for the position of Sainz at least. Of course, already ahead of Leclerc, so that's good, we are already gaining on him, but of course we still need to overtake Sainz, as DRS is now enabled. Lap 3. And you can see I am already closing that gap to Alonso, going for the inside line, and I could have overtaken him here, but unfortunately I went a bit too hard to the right, which meant that my line wasn't the best, as we are now in a Ferrari sandwich. I don't know if you want something like that. I think I definitely want a sandwich with something else instead of a Ferrari. But yeah, as you can see, color science a 116.7, we put in a 117.4, and now with DRS, ERS, and just a fast car, we overtake him without a problem. And now in lap 4, we are on the podium. So that's what we need, of course, as we can now close the gap to color science ahead of us. But yeah, still, we have a long way to go, so I don't want to ruin our tires just yet, as the pit lap is around lap 10, lap 11, something like that. And as you can see, we could go for a fastest lap here, almost taking track limits, but we were in the lines.
It looks like we might have an issue. Hang in there, we're attempting to manage it.
As if one issue wasn't bad enough. You can see, once again, we get a fastest lap after we took a problem in our car. But let's hope it's just the same as last time, and we just have some ERS deployed for half a lap. Because the pace is here, and that's the problem. The pace is here, and we have a problem with our car. Making a mistake as well doesn't help. Oh, come on! What is this? What is it? MGUK. Oh boy. Yeah, okay, this is not good. Alonso going by, Leclerc going by as well. Everybody's going by, and they are gaining points once again.
They take the checkered flag then here in Imola in what has been another outstanding Grand Prix. Tell me, Ant, how do they manage to achieve this win?
Well, I honestly feel it was down to the driver and car today. I mean, we can talk driver skill all day, but if you don't have a solid team to back that, you're never going to get anywhere. When you hit that sweet spot of having both an excellent driver and an incredible car, that's when you see results like those we witnessed today.
Welcome then to the podium, our top 3 drivers. What a great effort from them today in a very difficult race.
Of course, as if somebody else could win, is Carlos Sainz winning the Imola Grand Prix. So still no win from any other team. Daniel Ricciardo in P2 and Verstappen in P3, so we don't lose too many points on Charles Leclerc, but still it's not looking good for us compared to our teammate. He is just destroying the entire field. So yeah, it's still better to have him destroying the field instead of somebody else from another team. But as you can see, he won by 9 seconds, even with the fastest lap. So yeah, he gains 26 points on us. Leclerc only in P7, so that's good. And as you can see, Liam Lawson and myself are the only 2 DNFs. A few drivers got lapped, but other than that, nothing happened. As you can see, Carlos Sainz is leading the standings with 57 points. After 5 races. Is he going to become world champion once we get to Zandvoort or Italy? We are in Italy, but you know what I mean. As we are also leading the constructor standings with 84 points. To be honest, I feel quite safe at the moment. I feel like we have it in the bag already. So let's hope that it can stay like this and our teammate doesn't want too much money at the halfway point of the season. But that is it for today, guys. If you have enjoyed this video, then please like and subscribe, as we are on our way to 250 subscribers. Only 32 to go. So if you want to be part of this amazing community that we have, then subscribe right now and get here in time for the Miami Grand Prix, which will be the next episode. Like, subscribe, goodbye.